Look at the tip. When I do negative circle, can you see it's like this here? So you look at the tip. At no time it does this. You can never do this. It's always there. Can you see whatever I do? I can relax and do weird things, but the tip is always in front. It only comes back as one piece. It does not come back like this. You look at my rear shoulder, my center line, and the front shoulder and elbow and hand. When it becomes small, there is no torture. It feels comfortable. When it becomes longer, this is torture. And when this is exhausted, I have no more. I stretch this into my quad. Can you see this is torture? By this time, my back hurts like crazy. If you do this, can you see there is no torture, right? So when you are trapped like this move causes these two spots, the bicep and the chest here, to lock up. And this is the purpose. When you torque more, then it's so locked up, I'm going to do this. So when this happens, so Chris, you watch. You separate this angle here. This is an acute angle. You make it into an obtuse angle. Watch me first, okay? First you go like this. Second you go like this. Can you see it becomes like this? Right now you are fighting like this. You only do this and then it's over. Did you see that? This is your arm. If you put two rings on the arm, your forearm, put two rings, it forms a line. So this is, when you have two rings on it, it's the same as a tube. But right now, because I'm here by myself, I can only use one hand. Now imagine there are two. Whenever there are two rings, there's no possibility you can move sideways. Do you understand that? Two rings will form a line. One, it's still like this. When there are two rings, which becomes a tube, your rod can only move like this. The problem is, when your stick is inside the tube, you always want to move sideways. And this is period. Every single person does that. But you have to figure out a way. You have to have faith. You have to trust me. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about Nathan or Levi or Jeff, meaning they are very strong, but if you find that line, they cannot stop you, because it's the same as when you are inside the tube, the guy holding the tube, it doesn't matter how strong he is, he can't stop you. If you can't move your arm, it means you're fighting sideways. So the trick here is to recalibrate your movement until you find the tube. This is forward. Now watch the downward move. This is downward. We always move. We always have this. So now you look at here. This here, when I say go forward, can you see there is a forward move? You look at my hand, do you see my hand? Our problem is we do this. And then I say don't do that, then you do this. Can you see? It's just the whole thing here, I extend the line. And as I extend, this one extends that way. And as that happens, it pulls on here, I compensate by walking that way. Can you see the 3 points? This spot, that cross dot there, can only be experienced when you go through here and go through here. But your movements were always like this. You never experience. Can you see? Now, when I do this, can you remember this spot in space? Even if you are not accurate, just imagine you can see. Now when I go away, you remember that spot in space. If I do this, I'll never be able to find it. I'll never be able to. I have to find the line and find the line. So when your shoulder is not open, you look at this here. If your shoulder is totally linked, connected to your torso, when you think you're extending it, it actually goes like this. Or it goes like this, because you can't sever here. If this is totally free, you can. If this is totally free here, it's not linked to me. Can you see it freely goes like this? But when I do it with my arm, it moves my torso. So when that is clear, and then when this is clear, this is more difficult because it's linked by two joints to my torso. It's not free. So when I'm able to do this, can you see this move here? Oh, can you see this move? This is normal. This is normal. But what I did, can you see that? This one extended, this one extended. Can you see that now? I do a lot of that. I go like this, you can see my arm. Can you see that? I have two lines. I have this line, I have this line. When these two lines are executed in different, totally free from each other, totally independent, but it's bound together with the time. It happens during the same time. When these two are there, it's what I said, it's mystery upon mystery, meaning I'm doing this, but actually I'm doing this. If somebody says, I saw your forearm extending, and say, no, actually I'm doing this. And the other part is, the other way to describe it is, it's either this or that.